My name is Johnson. My registration number is URK18CS213. Today we'll discuss the lab experiment in computer networks of how the dynamic routing will be done in different networks, in different LANs and WAN. And the last video we have seen how the static routing will be done in different networks of LAN, WAN. The first we have to know the difference between the RIP and the DRP, that is a static internet protocol, as well as dynamic routing. So to why we are using sometimes as static and sometimes why we are going to the dynamic routing. The static routing is suitable for the small networks, and the difference between these two are the dynamic routing is suitable for both for small networks as well as large networks. And in the static routing, if the for example, when we see the topology for if the if we send the packet from PC1 to PC3, there are there are two there are two to go the packet to the two paths are there to go to the PC3. Now first path is R1 to R3, and the second path is R1 to R2 and R2 to R3 and to the PC3. Now when we keep in the static routing, it goes if it goes according to our network of IP address. If we give the IP address as R1 to R2 to R3, now it will goes according to the users which he has given the IP address. It goes on that way only. If the packet want to go in the straight way to the R1 to R3, he should you should default that gateway, that is R1 to R2 to R3, and we have to exit that path and we have to go according to this path. And for example, if we are in now dynamic routing, if we send the packet from PC1 to PC3, it will has two parts. Then for static routing, it does not know where to go source to destination. We have to choose the path, and we have to give the IP address where it want to go to the destination and to reach to the destination, and from destination to the source. And for dynamic routing, it chooses the best path to go to the certain destination. Now this is the difference between the static routing and dynamic routing. It automatically chooses the best path. Now we can see in the topology diagram, in from R1 to R2 to R3 and R1 to R3 paths, it will choose the R1 to R3 path, because its bandwidth is high, and the intermediate devices are low. And now for example, if I take the packet for R1 to R2 to R3, the network rate is 7 kbps. And for to send the packet from R1 to R3, the network is 7 mbps. And we all know that if the internet is speed, it takes the less time to reach the destination. In that, for that static routing, it always chooses the path according to the users which he have given. But the dynamic routing chooses its own path, which it travels its best path to receive the destination as according to the user. The user cannot select the path to go the packet to the destination. It automatically chooses the best path, and takes the and gives the information to the user. Now we will perform that action dynamic routing in Cisco Packet Tracer, how the packet will be done in different networks of LANs. Now here we have three LANs and three WANs. Now here when we take, this is one LAN and this is another LAN, This is third LAN. Now there are three LANs to perform the networks within the dynamic routing. Now here the first piece I have given the IP address as 172.16.3.2 and the gateway address as 3.1 172.16.3.1. Now for the router, I have given the IP address as 172.16.2.1 and for the router to 172.16.2.2 to perform the action between this router 0 to router 2, it should have the clock rate. Here I am using the DC serial interface cable to access this to go the packet from this router 0 to router 2. The IP address of the network address of this IP should be present in this router and the router of the information should be present in this to perform the action in dynamic routing. In the dynamic routing, when we see here in the dynamic routing, the command is router RIP. If the static, we have used the command as IP route, but in the dynamic routing, we are using the command as router RIP. Now Now, routing information protocol, which it finds the best path between the source and destination network. This router RIP is the command for the dynamic routing, which chooses the best path from the source to the destination network. Now, here we are assigning the networks to that router. If I am performing the action packet from R1 PC1 to PC3, the networks behind this intermediate are R2 as well as R3, and according to the PC3 IP address should be present in this, that is network address should be present in the R1. Now to perform that, to send the packet from PC1 PC0 to PC2, this is for this LAN 1, this is the unknown. Now for the PC0 PC1 is unknown, and for the PC1 PC0 and PC2 are unknown, and for PC2 PC1 and PC0 unknown. To send the packets from different networks as from PC2 PC0 to PC1 PC2, the networks of this IP network address should be present in our router 0. Now we'll perform that action in this. Enable config t. To perform this, the command is router RIP. Here we can see I am adding the network address. That is, the network address will end with .0 network. For this router 0, the network address is 172.16.2.1. 2.0 we have to choose, and the PC IP address is network 172.16.3.0. Now the first LAN is completed. Now we will go to the second LAN. Now the second LAN router is 172.16.2.0. This is the main advantage of dynamic routing. If you want to send the packet to the PC0 to PC1, I am here giving the network address with ending with 0. Now this is the left side router 0 to router 1 is the IP address for the router is 172.16.2.1. We are given the 2.0. The packet will check the IP address of that router, which is 172.16.2. It will go according to that network and it gets the information from that PC. Now I have given the 172.16.2.0 to access this left side of router 0 to router 2 to access the PC1. The PC1 I have to give the IP address, network address, the 16.1.0. If the packet I have sent from PC0 to PC2, now I want to access the network address as 192.168.1.0 network, and for PC2 the network address is 192.168.2.0. Now this is, and this is there are three WANs from router 0 to router 1, and router 1 to router 2 to router 1, and router 1 to router 0. This For this router I have given the IP address as network 10.10.10.0. And now these all the actions to be performed in the router 0 to access the information from router 2 to router 1 from the PC. Now the same commands, the same network you should due to the same router 2 and router 3. Command is enable config t router RIP. I am adding the network address for the LAN 1. The network address for router 0 is 172.16.2.0. Now according to the PC, 172.16.3.0, 172.16.3.0. Now the LAN 1 is completed. Now we will go to the LAN 2 network 172.16.1.0. Now we will go to the LAN 3, and we will add the network address of that router 192.168.1.0. I'm adding the LAN 3 PC network address. Now we will add the router 1 to router 0 to router 1 network address. We will add now network 10.10.10.0. The same operation should be performed for the router 1 as well as should perform the action to the router 1 as well as which we have access to the according to the router 0. Router 2 we have given the command same. We have to give to the LAN 3 to access the information from LAN 1 and from LAN 2. 150 router RIP network. I am giving the LAN 1 router network address. I am giving the 2.0 network 72.16.3.0. Given the LAN 1 network address, and we will go to the LAN 2, and we will send the network address of LAN 2 172.16.1.0. and we will LAN the WAN 2 network address 192.168.1.0. and we will add the LAN 3 PC network address, that is 192.168.2.0. Now we will add the 10.10 network 10.10.10.0. And now to see which the networks is assigned to the router or not, the command is show IP route. Now we can see Question: the network address is the network addresses are assigned to the router 1 to access the information from router from LAN 1 and LAN 2. Now we will check the router 2. Now here we can see we can get the information from the LAN 1 and from LAN 3. Search IP route, and we can access the information from LAN 2 and LAN 3. When we see here 120 by 1, this is the administrative. That is, if the 120 is less than, that is the best path for the dynamic route to send the packet from the different LANs. And now we will check the if the information is gathering from the LAN 1 2, from LAN 2 and LAN 3. Can hear PC0 to router 0 is successful. Here we can see PC0 to PC1 is successful. The packet is getting the information. We will see the packet from PC0 to PC2. Now from PC0 to PC2 there are two paths, from router 0 to router 2 and from router 2 to router 1, and this is one path, and we can it can go directly from router 0 to router 1. I have told that the dynamic route always chooses the best path to go to the destination. Now we will check which path it will take to reach the destination. Now the PC0 has came to the switch. Now from switch it go to the router, and from router to router 1 it chooses the best path. Now the router has chosen the best path, that is router 0 to router 1, that is straight path it chosen. Now successfully it has gathered the information from PC0 to PC2. Now the dynamic routing is we will perform from PC2 to PC1. That is successful. We'll just check how the packet is going. Now here, from accessing the information from PC2 to PC1, there are two parts to access the information. That is, from it can go from router 1 to router 2 and router 2 to PC1, but it is taking the path as router 1 to router 0 to router 0 to router 2 and PC1. Now it has chosen the best path for that to access the PC2 to PC1. Now it is successful. Now we will check from PC1 to PC2 to PC1, PC0. Now it is successful. Now just we'll ping and check which path it is choosing to access the PC0 information. Now it has chosen the straightened path, it chosen the best path to reach the destination within fraction of seconds. It can access the information from that, and it can give the user according to his given question. You can receive the information as well as very soon according to the. This is the difference. We can see that static routing and dynamic routing, it always the static routing always chooses the according to the user's access, it will choose, but the dynamic routing automatically it will choose the best path to reach the destination. Now we will ping and check from PC1 to PC2. We'll check by simulation mode. But to access according to the PC1, there are two parts it can access, from router 2 to router 0, and router 0 to router 1, and router 1 to PC2. It is the long distance to come the packet, but it has chosen the best path to go from PC2. See that it is successful. Now we will ping and check from PC1 to PC0. Here also there are two parts. From PC1 to access the information from PC0, there are two paths. From PC1 to router 2, and router 2 to router 1, and router 1 to router 0, and to PC0. But it chooses the best path, that is from PC1 to router 2, and router 2 to router 0, and from PC0. It has chosen the best path. And I am telling that dynamic routing is very well, and soon that is very easy to access the information within fraction of seconds. This is all about the dynamic routing, which we have seen the how the dynamic routing will be done in the different LAN networks, where between the route which between the source and destination networks, and it will chooses the best path according to its to its own. And the command is for dynamic routing is router RIP, that is to ping to send the packet from source to the destination. And we will add the we will add to the router the different networks which are available for router 1 to access the packet from different LANs. And we have access the different networks for router 1, that is router 2 and router 3, and for router 2 router 1 and router 3, and for router 3 router 1 and router 2 we have access the networks for that. And we have ping and check the packets. It chosen the best path to which it chooses the best path to reach the destination. There is another command, that is debug IP RIP. It displays the information on routing information protocol. we can uh, we can know that which the packets are receiving the information from that router, which we can see that RIP protocol debugging is on, and we will on for every router which the information is receiving. We can know that which protocol is giving information. Now we will see router 0. The debug IP RIP displays the routing transaction on RIP. That we can see the network received V1 update from 170.16.2.2. It receiving the information from that different networks, that is from 10.10.2, and from the different networks it is receiving the information according to the transactions on RIP. Now to stop the debugging, the command is undebug all. Now to stop the transaction on RIP, the command is undebug all. It it's off the it stops the transactions from on RIP. Now we have to know that the difference between the dynamic routing and static routing is that is it is useful for small networks, and for dynamic routing it uses the small networks as well as large networks. And we have seen that to know the transaction between RIPs, the command is debug IP RIP, and to stop the transaction on RIP, the command is undebug all. And we have seen that it always chooses the best path to access the to access information from source to destination. This is all about the dynamic routing will be done in different lands and vans. We have seen that. Okay, thank you.